What's going on, everybody? It's just another day in the kitchen, back with another episode, and today's video takes us back 3 years ago for the release of Cactus Jack, aka Travis Scott's Cactus Trails merch drop. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the actual merch itself, as well as a very dope and special collaboration with the legend himself, Cactus Jack. In case you don't know who that guy is right there, that's Mick Foley, aka Mankind, aka a legend in the wrestling world, and we're going to see a little bit more about him in this video. Now, as always, I got to give a special shout out to all of you guys who tune into these videos and let me know the type of content you'd like to see. So thank you so much, and you never know when you're going to see yourself featured in the next video shout out. So let me know what you guys would like to see. Now, as you can see, we are taking a look at the actual website back 3 years ago on May 29th, 2020. Now, little did we know we were going to be in those COVID lockdowns for a hot minute. And while you're here, you might as well go ahead and drop a like and subscribe and follow your boy on Instagram at wedontcookfood and let me know that you came from YouTube, and of course, I'll be following you back. I've got a couple dope giveaways that are lined up soon, so make sure you guys stay up to date with the latest and the greatest, you dig? Now, speaking of giveaways, as you guys can see, we are actually taking a look at the Travis Scott Air Max 270 Cactus Trails. These were actually only available on his website at the time through this raffle. And if you were following or keeping up with Travis Scott in the sneaker world, you knew that his sneakers were damn near impossible to get your hands on. Whether it was fighting with bots on the sneakers app or even just trying to get them first come, first serve on his website, it definitely was possible, but I never thought that I'd be able to get my hands on an actual raffle from his website. Now, sure enough, your boy did get his hands on a pair for retail 3 years ago, as you guys can see in this video review that I did. So if you guys are curious how that sneaker came out, I will go ahead and link that video in the description as always. And thank you so much for checking out these videos. Now, of course, I do have to highlight when it comes to his merch, the shipping times. If you haven't figured out by now from all of these videos and just Travis Scott merch in general, I would say that the shipping time is more so a suggested shipping time because it'll get to you when it gets to you. Now, as for these pieces from this Cactus Trails collaboration, most of the pieces were shipping within 4 to 5 weeks, which we'll take a look at some more throughout this video. But personally, my favorite part of this entire drop, besides the fact that, of course, Mick Foley is involved, was this dope little website that's basically made to look like a website all the way back in the 1990s or early 2000s. Now, most of these items are not actually available, if not all of them. They're kind of gag items. But I think this was a really dope twist created by LaFlame and his team, and I definitely think it's something that he would have experienced himself given his age. Now, if you don't know the significance of this man right here, this is, of course, Mick Foley, aka a legend in the wrestling world. And like I mentioned earlier in this video, he's actually the original or the OG Cactus Jack. And although I could not find a photo of Travis and Mick Foley together, I do think that it's so raw that they were finally able to collaborate and connect via this collaboration. And let me know what you guys think, and also if you ended up picking up any pieces from this drop. Now, the main thing I do want to remark about this drop that we'll see a little bit later in this video is the fact that this whole merch drop was basically to support the release of the Air Max 270 model that we saw that was available for the raffle. And something I wanted to point out with many of the pieces that we saw for this merch drop is the fact that the retail pricing definitely varied. We saw some hoodies earlier for $65, and then we've got this one for $95, and I can completely understand if there's a lot more effort or a lot more going on with the graphic, or of course, if the quality is a little bit different, but I'm not so sure on a lot of these models. And personally, I do think that this Cactus Trails drop does feature some great graphics, and I also wanted to point out just from experience, even on my pieces that are quite old, all of the screen printing and graphics that I have experienced and seen from Travis Scott merch drops has actually been pretty solid. And despite some wear and tear from obvious use and many washes, all of the pieces that I've owned throughout the last like 7 to 8 years have all held up really great. And something very consistent throughout all of these merch drops for Travis and other artists is whenever you have something that's quite literally a larger item or more of a specialty item like this windbreaker here, the shipping times definitely vary. As we saw earlier, most of the pieces were shipping out in 4 to 6 weeks, but as you can see from this windbreaker, it's 6 to 8, and that's no different than what we tend to see nowadays as well. Now, this next item is a little interesting, and it's what's considered a Sherpa vest, and I think it's definitely unique and different for a Travis Scott merch drop. However, I guess it makes sense in the context of the drop itself. And if you couldn't tell, and we'll see a little bit later some items that definitely back up what I'm going to say right now, this entire merch drop has to do with like a whole outdoorsy vibe and outdoorsy feeling. And the whole purpose of it, I think, is to picture yourself camping and some supplies and things like that that would be used while camping on some cactus trails or just some trails in general. Now, personally, I've mentioned this throughout the different videos that I've made, but Travis's different style and use of tones like earth tones like browns and greens and stuff like that have definitely influenced myself to wear more colors like that and just my general dressing and fashion sense. So I do give him that shout out. And something that I do like as part of a lot of his drops is that we do get these different types of shorts. Usually they're nylon or they feature some kind of like athletic type of breathable action. And as for what I was mentioning a little bit earlier when it comes to those items and having to do with the whole kind of camping vibe, as you guys can see, we've got some accessories which definitely back up what I was saying earlier. Now, we all know no camping trip is complete without bringing your Cactus Jack sleeping bag. And as always, when it comes to all of these merch drops, as you guys can see, my boy LaFlame is definitely the king of merch. I can definitely say I have never seen an artist or anyone else have a sleeping bag, let alone a hammock, to make your camping trip lit. So as you guys can see, these are some dope items that were available for this drop. And all of my people that go hiking, let me know if you would actually pick these items up. I think it would definitely make your trip more lit and hopefully, you know, attract some real ones. Now, of course, with any great merch drop, although this one does not have a rug like I mentioned in most videos, we do have some great Travis Scott Cactus Jack themed socks, which are available in this 3-pack here. They look pretty cozy and insulating, which of course would be great for hiking. And, you know, you got to stay hydrated out here, guys. So you got to pick up this water bottle, which I think would do you great on the hiking trails as well. In addition to keeping you hydrated and giving you a place for warmth and sleep, Travis was looking out for you with this dope Cactus Trails bandana, which I think is actually cool and universal. Now, this is some kind of boat keychain, which I think is great if you're into collector's items. I'm not too sure if it has a purpose other than being kind of like a keychain, which is okay. And of course, we've got these additional little accessory pieces here as well, which of course are themed to the actual Cactus Trail. And to wrap up this little trifecta of keychains, we've got this dope little thermometer one. I don't know that it actually works. It does say that it is functional, so I think that that's actually pretty cool. And it'll give you an idea of what the temps are like while you're out there on the cactus trails. Now, if you made it this far, guys, as always, I appreciate you checking out the videos. Let me know what you'd like to see next, as always, in the comments. And as always, guys, stay safe out here. Thanks for cooking with the kitchen. It's lit. Straight up. Peace, guys.